So this video was originally just going to be about this little guy. This is Dark of the Moon Commander Class Powerglide. I've been wanting this guy for a long time. For whatever reason, I passed on him when he was in stores, and I felt so bad about it. I felt like I let my boy down. I felt like Powerglide will not be happy with me. I feel like he'll, unfriend me on Facebook. I don't even use Facebook much anymore, but he would unfriend me, and it would still hurt my feelings. So I was really distraught that I didn't get him. And I just got him recently, and I'm really happy that I did. However, as I was preparing to make this video, I'm like, I want to talk about more than just this Powerglide. Why don't I talk about this Powerglide, the Combiner Wars one? And he's very happy cheery because I took the thumbnail photo. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this one. I did do a YouTube short about his repaint Viper, but hey, let's just talk about this guy. Now, granted, I'll probably talk about him again whenever we get a deluxe class Powerglide, but who knows when that's going to be? It might be forever from now. So I just wanted to do a video about this guy too, but I'm like, hey, I might as well just make this a Powerglide collection video, and let's just include my Shots Powerglide. Because for whatever reason, out of all of the characters they could have picked, they decided to make a completely unique mold for Powerglide in Shots. Little Shots Powerglide, very fun, very cute. But I had to bring in the big boy. I no longer own Universe Powerglide. And I actually just mentioned this in a previous video. But I do own Stormcloud. This is the Decepticon repaint of him, because I didn't really like this as Powerglide. It just seemed too big and intimidating and weird to be Powerglide, but as Stormcloud, I think it's pretty cool. And hey, it's a Powerglide mold, so he gets to join the fun. This is a Powerglide video. We're doing Powerglide today. He's a very fun character. He's the Autobot that very infamously fell in love with a human woman. Interpret that how you will, but I don't know how that worked out. But anyways, very fun character, red plane. One of the few Autobot planes in the original G1 show. There weren't a lot of planes. I mean, obviously they're the aerial bots, but outside of them, Powerglide was one of the only ones, and one of the original ones. And it's very fun that he's kind of gotten some homages and some new interpretations throughout the years, but he definitely hasn't gotten enough love, at least not in my book. So let's start off with the Shots Powerglide, because he's the tiniest, he's the smallest. He's also the easiest to talk about. So I also did YouTube shorts on Shots recently. I love Shots, and I miss Shots. This was, if you don't know what this was a fun little Bakugan-esque game that Hasbro did around like 2011, 2012. It didn't last for too long, unfortunately, but these were only about $4 or $5 a pop. And what you got a cute little Transformer. They're all in a similar style until near the end when they kind of changed them up a bit. And essentially what you do, it's essentially like rock, paper, scissors, where it's like, sword beats whatever, gun beats whatever, fist beats whatever. I don't have the brain power to remember what beats what. But the thing is, if you get the same one, whoever has the bigger number on each one, they win. It was basically just rock, paper, scissors. Ultimately, it was all just based on like, oh, which one am I going to put it on? Oh, let's try fist this time. Then you transformed it, and it's a little plane. It's a little plane. You can tell it kind of pops apart pretty easily, but that is the whole point of these toys. So it's a little plane with big old wheels because they have to roll. And what you do, it's like, oh, it's a little plane, and then you smash it into another bot shot, and then he like is supposed to transform and pop up. And it's like, oh, he's got fist, he beats me, oh man. Or it's like, oh, we both got sword, who has the bigger number? Oh, I do, you suck. That's what it was. But they were very collectible. I want more of them. I want them all. Back when this kind of started, I was very picky with which characters I got. I'm like, let me get all the Seekers, let me get the Movie 1 Autobots, let me get a few others. But I wasn't all in on them, and I kind of wish I was. So hopefully someday I'll be able to get more and more Shots, but I'm happy me over 10 years ago decided that Powerglide was one that I needed, because I love Powerglide. So there's Powerglide. Now this is the Combiner Wars Legends class Powerglide. Still a very good figure even to this day. I really do want to see a deluxe class one though. I really want to see a deluxe Powerglide, but I think this figure is still pretty cool and pretty serviceable. So yeah, he's, got some pretty good articulation. He's got a swivel at the head. He's got ball joints at the shoulders. Only hinges at the elbows, unfortunately. He doesn't have anything else beyond that. Nothing at the waist, I think, but he's got ball joints at the hips, ball joints at the knees, and some hinges at the ankles. I have been told in my Viper YouTube short that this mold can be kind of fragile, so I do want to be a little careful with him, but I've personally had no problem with it. I think if I had any problem, you can see that right there. That's stressing. Yeah, that's stressing right there. But that's been like that for a long time. I think I accidentally nudged it and it kind of stressed that clip connection. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm not going to break him. But yeah, very fun little Powerglide. Very serviceable as, the character in your Classics Generations collection. But since they're going through and doing all the mini-bots in Deluxe class, I really want to see a new Powerglide. I'm hoping we get one soon. I really am. But hey, I guess I'm doing this video as a call out. Hasbro, make a new Powerglide, please. I'd love to buy it. But you need to include the thing in the chest. You need to do that. What am I talking about? Well, if you already know, you know, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, so let's transform this Powerglide. And again, I did do this with the Viper YouTube short. And it's really cool that they repainted this into a Cobra Rattler, because both Powerglide and the Cobra Rattler are based on the same kind of, plane. So it was a pretty cool idea to go ahead and just make an homage. That was pretty fun. So let's kind of get this in the plane mode. Get those together like that. And then the wings are going to untab, and they're going to do a little flip-me-do. And it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple transformation. I mean, it's a little Legends class. But, am I missing something? What's going on here? What's going on here? Why is that panel like that? What am I doing? What is my life? Does that rotate? Am I losing my mind? I don't remember. I don't remember. I know the head rotates, and you can disguise the head with that little panel right there. But I swear that panel does something, doesn't it? Doesn't that panel do something? I don't remember. Maybe not. I know it does something for an alternate mode that I will actually discuss this time around, and I didn't with Viper. But here we go. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the little plane mode on this guy. I really feel like I'm missing something. Yes, I was. It hinges forward. There we go. There we go. No, I'm not a fool. There we go. There is the plane mode. Really cool. Really cool. I really do like how this looks. You can see the fists, obviously, but that's not that big of a deal. It just captures Powerglide pretty well. I think it does a pretty good job of capturing the character. Now, this is a Combiner Wars Legends class, and if you don't know, all of the Combiner Wars Legends classes actually doubled as Target Masters. Oddly enough, all of them doubled as Target Masters, and Powerglide is no exception. So how he does the Target Master thing, essentially, you flip this landing gear out, and this actually serves as like a handle. It's not easy to flip out, though. But you get the landing gear out. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, my gosh. Come on. I believe in you. Just come on out. Oh, it would be easier if I just did that. It would be a little easier. Work smarter, not harder, kids. You can also slide these. Slide those forward or back. Kind of make those little gun barrels. And, yeah, it's the Target Master. He's got gun barrels. He's got missiles on the side. That panel is now like a scope, and you can like let Superion use Powerglide as a Target Master. Isn't that fun? It's kind of goofy. This gimmick pretty much just existed so Bruticus could hold Shockwave. That's pretty much it. But still, kind of fun, kind of cute. Definitely not necessary for Powerglide, though, making him a Target Master. But here we are. Here he is. And then, let's talk about my latest one, and actually one of the more complex ones. This is the Dark of the Moon Cyberverse. So this is actually a Commander class, which did end up becoming the equivalent of Legends class, which is now Core class. Very confusing, because Commander class now represents something very different than this. I've done videos talking about like, oh, this is a Commander class, and someone's like, that's not Commander class. Well, it isn't now. Some people just don't understand how things change over time. But still, this is a really fun little Powerglide. It's very different. It is very, very different. I love the shape of the legs. Very unique, very interesting. He's packing a lot of heat, though. He is packing a lot of heat. This time, instead of the wings actually like forming into the torso, the wings are just along the sides of the arms, which I think works okay, but I definitely do miss him kind of being on the inside. He doesn't like holding this missile array too well. Something about that, he doesn't like holding it. I think it's just those tabs kind of colliding with the arm. But that missile array is pretty cool right there in his right arm. His head design is really cool. He's kind of got a bit of a Michael Bay vibe to him, but you can still tell, like, he's got that cone head. This is Powerglide. He's got that battle mask. It's kind of fun seeing Powerglide, like, movie-fied, but not all the way. They didn't fully commit. You can still tell this is our boy Powerglide. It's really fun. I'm really happy I got this one. Definitely an odd Cyberverse Commander class from Dark of the Moon. I don't have all of them. I definitely do want all of them, but I've got Sentinel, Shockwave, Optimus, Ironhide, Megatron, and Blackout. I do have a lot of them, and now Powerglide. There wasn't it Guzzle? Didn't they do Guzzle? And then Hatchet. I think Hatchet was a Commander class too. I want to go way more into Dark of the Moon Cyberverse. And hey, I'm happy I was able to with this guy a little bit. So his articulation, nothing at the head, sadly, because it's kind of connected for the transformation. I guess you can make him look up and down if you want. You know, I guess that's something. Ball joints at the shoulders, and then another kind of like swivel right there. He's got hinges at the elbows, so you can do a little hinge-me-do. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. And then his ball-jointed hips move. He's got ball-jointed knees. Then you can hinge his ankles for transformation, but it's, for transformation. But it still works as articulation. So yeah, this Powerglide's pretty neat. I definitely do like him, but he's not as great as I feel like some people touted him to be. Especially with his guns. Like, that just doesn't stay in his hand. It just straight up doesn't. This one does, though, which is nice. I do appreciate that. These guns do transform as well. They do kind of do a little hinge-me-do because they kind of form into the vehicle and help keep it a little bit more solid. But let's get into that. Let's transform him. I've only done this once, so bear with me, please. I'm not a record keeper of how every single Transformer transforms, but I like to think I'm pretty good. I like to think I'm pretty good at remembering. So the arms, I think they're going to go in like that. There we go. This is pretty fun, though. Come on, it's Powerglide. I don't feel like there's enough love for this guy. I really don't. Like, he hasn't really appeared in fiction again since G1, which I think is a crying shame because it's Powerglide. Come on. Where are you? I love you. Please marry me. But, yeah, I want to see him again. He's really fun. He's really fun. And then these will... How's that waist work? What that waist do, Powerglide? Ooh, after that marriage comment, I probably shouldn't say that. But yeah, there's pretty much his plane mode. Very similar, actually, to his G1 alt mode. I know it's like a proper name. Is it A-10 Thunderbolt? Is that what it is? I'm not a fighter jet guy. I'm a Transformers guy. They just so happen to turn into fighter jets. You can like plug this into the arm and then plug it into the wing. So you can see that does kind of keep things a little bit more stable and does kind of contribute to the solidity of the vehicle mode. But still, it is kind of excessive how these tab into two different places, and sometimes it doesn't always work either. And I don't want to like stress the parts. But that just kind of goes in. I said that goes in right there. And then tabs in right there. There we go. We got it. It does leave him with a really cool, like, missile look, though. That's pretty sweet. Again, kind of ignore the arms. Oh, you do flip in the hands this time around, though. That's nice. The hands do flip in this time. Yeah, you can just kind of see the arms are just there. Even though they do kind of form a little bit of a missile thing, too, at the elbow. I do appreciate when they add a little bit of sculpting there, just to add a little bit of detail. I do appreciate that. But yeah, let's actually get this Powerglide back into the proper vehicle mode so we can compare them. Because I don't want to just leave you with a weird gun sitting there. So let's push those back in. Man, I can really tell where that one's loose from where I stressed it all those years ago. Let's get the wings back into proper configuration. And there we go, close enough. So we can see pretty similar vehicle modes. I really do appreciate that. I really do like that. Anyways, I saved the biggest for last. Not necessarily the best, but definitely the biggest. This is the Universe Powerglide mold, repainted into Stormcloud. Who's Stormcloud? He was some little Micromaster dude. That's who he was. Who cares about him? This is Universe Stormcloud. So the whole point of this line was that they were ultra class. This is kind of what modern leader class is. Old ultra class is essentially modern leader class, but these guys still at least had electronics, and that's something I sorely miss. You can see he just makes a gun effect. You can kind of get this little minigun thing, and he's like, there's a button kind of hidden back here. You can like push this panel down, and he lights up at the chest, and he looks like he's shooting. You know, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I respect that. Proportionally, this guy's very top-heavy. I don't know if you can notice, but he's got this massive, broad chest and these super skinny little legs. He still looks really cool, though. It's a very nice, big, clicky figure, and I'm not kidding when I say this is like modern leader class size. It pretty much is. It's really fun. I really do like these old Ultra classes. There was Onslaught that was also repainted into Hardhead, and there was Silverbolt, who got a couple different repaints. One was Dark Wind, one of those, and the other was like black and red, and I don't remember his name, but I want that one. I want the black and red one. So I'll get that at some point, but I do have Onslaught. Onslaught's really cool. I might do a video on him at some point. But I'm happy I got this mold again, because the original Universe Powerglide, when I first started collecting, was actually one of the first like older figures I got. But once this one came around, the Combiner Wars, I'm like, I don't really need this big Universe one anymore, and I sold it. And I missed having the toy, but I'm happy I have it as a different character now, you know? I just filmed a video about repaints. You know, this is a good thing that repaints can give. You know, if you don't need, like, different toys of the same character, you know, sell one off and then, hey, rebuy it, repaint it into a different character. This is really cool. I am missing one piece on this. I don't have the missile, because it had a missile that stuck out really far. However, it sucks. I never liked it. Even on my Powerglide, I didn't display him with the missile because it got in the way, and I really like this more as like a minigun, because you can see it's got like the little chain minigun kind of thing going on in the front. I never used the missile, so when I bought this really cheap without the missile, I was not complaining. Fun fact, though, both the Dark of the Moon and this I actually got at the toy department in Fairfield, Ohio. Just, you know, little plug there. I get a lot of stuff at the toy department. I get a lot. This guy I got probably like Target when it came out. And then this guy, geez, I don't know. I might have gotten him at like Toys R Us. I miss Toys R Us. Anyways, this is just a fun figure. Very clicky. I love the head sculpt on him. Again, I feel like it looked a little too serious for Powerglide, and I think it works way better as a Decepticon, you know? He's got that big Decepticon badge, but behind that Decepticon badge, even Big Bad Cons still have a heart. Aw, look at it. Yes, the Universe Powerglide actually had the gimmick of the heart inside the chest. If you don't know, in the original G1 cartoon, in that episode I mentioned where he fell in love with a human girl, at the very end of the episode, he opened up his chest and he had like a lit up heart. And the Universe Powerglide toy decided to have a little Easter egg of that. And because you can't really totally remold the toy, even if it's a Decepticon, Stormcloud still has the heart. And that is so funny. So this is like a big bad Decepticon, but, you know, when he's alone, when he's chilling, you know, when he's with his loved ones, when he's holding hands with somebody, you know, he feels the butterflies. You know, he's got a heart in there. His articulation, he's got a swivel at the head, universals at the shoulders, and I love that click. He's got elbows. I don't think he's got wrists. He does have a waist joint. He does have hips that move forward and out. Thigh swivel, he's got a knee bend, and he's got toes that can move forward and back. So his articulation's pretty decent, but he definitely suffers greatly from being so top-heavy. Because keep in mind, he's got electronics in his torso as well. Like, he has lights and sounds. So it definitely does hold him back in a weird way. Alright, let's get him transformed. I love the transformation on this guy. It's been a minute. I did get this guy a few months ago, and I did transform it when I got it, but it's, you know, it's... Again, I can't be a retainer of all of the knowledge on how all of these toys transform. Like even this, I'm like, what am I doing with the hands? There we go. I thought they moved the other way. One thing about this guy, it is easy to like knock those wings out of place, and they just start kind of flooping around and doing their own thing for the transformation. But let us see how this goes here. So he does have the big cockpit right there, which is pretty neat. We do want to rotate the head because it kind of hides back here. I do like that. He does the noise, which is great. That's one thing I love about these old Ultra classes. They do the noise. I really missed out with modern Transformers. One funny thing, you do have to actually open up the chest. You have to open up his heart to transform him. And he has plane noises once he's in plane mode. That transformation sound actually does alter the sound effects, where it's like, okay, now I'm not in robot mode anymore. I'm in jet mode, so I got to do the jet noises now. So that's pretty neat. I do appreciate that. Getting this rotated. Let's get this up. And one thing I love is how the legs actually come together and help form the nose cone. I think it's really fun. They kind of form the body of the nose cone. And I just think it works really well. You know, I just think all that comes together. You can flare those out as like little intakes. And one of the last things to do is to remember how the wings configure. And get these little wings back here out. And try to remember how the arms go. I think the arms do like a little hinge we do, right? Yeah, there we go. The arms kind of tuck in. So he still kind of has like the intakes there, but he does have landing gear. Landing gear is always appreciated. So here we go. Here's Universe Storm Cloud, the big old Powerglide. And it's so funny, when it was Powerglide, they did end up doing a Target exclusive repaint that was the proper red, but the initial one was like red and white. And everyone was like, huh? What? I do like that you can put that under there too. And again, if you had the missile got in the way. The missile absolutely got in the way. So again, if you ever get this toy, just put that missile in a drawer, or just be like me and buy one without it, because you're not going to miss it. And here we go. Here's the Universe Storm Cloud. So, so cool. Look at how much bigger this is than the little Combiner Wars mold. Look at how much bigger. It's huge. I think it's a little too big for Powerglide. I do think this mold was a little too big, but ultimately, it's fun, and it's great, and I really do recommend it. I mean, I remember, like, when I got this guy, the original Powerglide, I succumbed. I was still kind of a kid, you know, I was a young teenager, but I was pressing that button, I was swooshing him around the house, I was having a fun time. I genuinely love this toy. MM89, that is actually a fun little reference to the fact that he was a Micromaster back in 1989. I always love when they do little Easter eggs like that. I'm not sure what these like emblems are supposed to be. Like it almost looks like a Decepticon Elite Guard. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super well versed in every little obscure variation of certain emblems, but I do appreciate like the little wings on there, like he's a part of like the Decepticon Air Force or something. This is such a fun toy. I really, really recommend at least Storm Cloud. But if you wanted in Powerglide flavors, either white and red Powerglide or just full on red, it's out there. It is out there. And with that being said, there is my video, just loving Powerglide. You know, we're opening our chests, we're opening our hearts to good old Powerglide, and I think we've done a pretty good job here today. I love Powerglide, and we desperately need a new one. I would love to see one in Legacy United, that's the new line. But if not, just keep on bringing us classic mini-bots, and I will buy them all. And when you get around to Powerglide, I will not complain. Alrighty guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about good old Powerglide down in the comments below. Do you own any of these? If not, when will you? Buy them all. If I could only recommend one, it would probably be the Combiner Wars Legends, but I do really like the Commander from Dark of the Moon as well. And the Universe is just such a big, fun, chunky toy. They really don't make them like they used to. They really, really don't. I love that so much. Alrighty guys, thank you so much again for watching. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.